What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrubae here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am, but there's a bank out there that's definitely not having a great day after it came out that a deepfake software ended up stealing $35 million from them. But yeah, I figured we could talk about it. Let's go.
Get quiet now, lay low when you reach zone, piping down, making out, stack the bread, cause
Alright, now I think we all know technology was progressing pretty quickly, right? Like, what is it? Every 1 year now is 5 years, 10 years ago, or whatever saying they use to say that we're progressing insanely quickly with technology. But I just didn't realize that deepfake technology had gotten to the point where, you can impersonate CEOs of banks and get them to wire you millions of dollars. Bank robbers steal $35 million by deepfaking boss's voice. Dubai investigators say that deep voice tech was used in the heist. Listen, I think everybody is aware of the fact that, there's scales to robbery, right? You run away with 100 grand, it's impressive, but you start stealing $35 million. That's a pretty ginormous heist in terms of the history of heists. So the fact that these dudes managed to somehow get $35 million wired to them off deepfaking the boss's voice is impressive. I didn't realize the technology had gotten this far. Obviously, a little bit of this has to fall on the banks because it's like you guys didn't do two-factor authentication before you wired $35 million. I understand that you thought you were talking to the boss, but you should have been like, hey, it's just procedure. Can you tell me the code that it just texted you? With $35 million on the line, it's probably not the time to be breaking the rules a little bit. My goodness, dude. Whoever did this, though, had to use a rush. That has to feel literally like something out of a movie. He's talking into his gamer headset with his voice on the other end. It's coming out as the boss. I don't know if that's how it works. But if that is the case, you know that this dude had to feel like the most elite hacker on the planet. Or woman, it could go either way. Whoever it was felt like the ultimate hacker. Deepfake technology has gotten incredibly sophisticated over the years, allowing us to resurrect the voices of the dead and fool Justin Bieber into challenging famous Scientologists to fights. Some folks are even using it for criminal purposes. Such was the case for a United Arab Emirates bank that was fooled by criminals using AI voice cloning to steal $35 million. Court documents recently uncovered by Forbes revealed that the fraudsters used deepfake voice of a company executive to fool a bank manager to transfer millions to their possession in early 2020. You know that bank manager dude was like, alright, I'm gonna go get some coffee from the break room and load it up in my trunk because I'm for sure getting fired once he realized that he sent $35 million to the wrong people. That's not an accidental oopsie, dude. Like I said, I know that they were using voice cloning technology, but you should probably double check before you hit send on the $35 million transaction. My goodness, dude. I know deepfake technology has progressed, and I understand how it happens, but this is just one of those mess-ups where, someone's gotta get in trouble for it. That's just too much money for no one to get fired or no one to get arrested. And chances are, if they're still saying anonymous hackers, they don't know who did it, so you're probably getting fired, pal. I love how this just recently came out. I understand why they would want to keep it a secret. I don't think any bank wants to, let people know that they accidentally gave away $35 million. That's not a good way to keep investors happy with you. Especially when it's something like, oh yeah, we just kind of sent the money over the phone. I can understand why they've tried to keep that hush-hush. I just want to know who blew the whistle on this. Was it just some, legal clerk in the UAE legal office that could not believe himself when he started reading about what happened? Or is it just that they don't necessarily want this hacker group to start getting any attention? I don't know what it is, dude. But I understand why they'd want to maybe not let this be public. The supposed executive said that his company was about to make an acquisition and needed the money to do so. The bank manager recognized the executive's voice from having worked with him before, so believing everything was copacetic, I don't know what that word is, sorry, he authorized the transfer straight into the accounts of the criminals. This is what I'm saying, bro. Literally any step of this double checking would have been great. You could have been like, hey, why are you authorizing all this money into a bunch of different accounts? If it's for a merger, couldn't we just send it to you and then you send it out? Or, like I said, they've got to have some text authentication. I guess if at that point they're using deepfake technology, they could probably intercept it. But, the fact that there was no way to just double check before $35 million was sent out is insane to me. Bro, I'm not even allowed to, log into my Pokemon Go app without having to Face ID 3 times occasionally. I can't imagine, being able to send $35 million in the blink of an eye just clicking a button. If this is the case, then I'm not surprised if from now on banks are definitely going to be inserting some type of failsafe for this. If it happens once and somebody gets away with $35 million, chances are all the banks are going to be like, yeah, for any amount over this, you 100% need to verify. Still, though, I have to give insane, credit to the hackers. Obviously, don't steal millions of dollars. That goes without saying. But this is seriously something that, somebody would say, and you would think that they were making it up, that they had just watched too many spy movies to come up with an idea like this, but they really just cloned someone's voice and then used it to get them to wire them $35 million. The UAE has now requested the help of American investigators to trace the roughly $400,000 that went to US-based accounts, according to the documents. Dubai investigators believe that the operation involved 17 people using deep voice technology and sent money to banks around the world. While surprising, it's actually the second known case of this. In 2019, they used AI to impersonate an executive and steal $243,000, according to the Wall Street Journal. Like I said, cyber crime in general has been accelerating so quickly. I think especially because of the pandemic, it really showed just how weak a lot of cybersecurity is. But my goodness, I didn't know that this was happening more than one time. There's just some ring out there. Their entire job is to just get the voices of executives of super banks to scam $35 million by using fake voices. This is literally something that you would think was in a Black Mirror episode. This does not sound like reality. I wouldn't be surprised if one day there's a movie made about this dude, oh yeah, we were the group of people that, got millions by faking voices. As I said, though, thankfully, one thing that I think's coming is better cybersecurity. It seems like most companies have become dramatically aware of the fact that they can get messed with and have money taken away pretty easily. Or even if they're not going to directly take money from you, denial of service attacks, ransom attacks, you've just got a lot of ways for people to make money off of you. And so a lot of companies are taking that more seriously. I don't really understand still how $35 million gets taken by a fake voice, but whatever, I'm not the bank that did it, so kudos to the hackers, I guess. I don't really know what to say in this situation. Don't steal millions of dollars, but at the same time, you probably should have a code word or something. This is just one of those things where it's you didn't think this was going to be a story 10 years ago, but as it goes on, I'm sure it's going to happen a lot more often, dude, especially if all it takes is just convincing someone you're talking to somebody you're not to get $35 million. I would not be surprised if people start trying this way more often. But that's just what happens with any cybercrime on the internet. I feel like it works, and then everybody starts kind of trying to replicate it, and from there, people kind of become more aware of it, and its effectiveness goes down over time. Obviously, deepfakes make it a lot harder, and I don't necessarily see where they'll, be the same as the Nigerian prince scam, where if you fall for it at this point, it's your own fault. But, yeah, I just thought it was interesting that somehow people ended up stealing all this money with using deep voice technology, or deepfake technology, sorry, but that's going to do it for the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought. And, of course, subscribe if you're new and turn on those notifications. If you really want to help me out, check out the intro song linked down below, along with a link to my podcast, The Scuffed Cast. And, of course, you could use code Scrubae at the G Fuel checkout, get a discount over there. Beyond that, it is Halloween, so you can get your hands on the Halloween merch that's on screen now. It's a great way to support the channel, helps me out, and it's pretty dope. And, yeah, on that note, that'll do it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.